welcome back everybody. Welcome back to the drawing. So today I actually will be doing a little bit more of work. I noticed by the way that I had some issues here and there with some of my programs that I wanted to actually start running. So I actually wanted to do that after this, most likely, and see if I can get this to work, because holy shit, it's annoying. It crashes every single time. I know that I know what the cause is, but then again, I would have loved to have that to run, and yeah, I wanted to make sure that that is actually also done. So today I'm going to be working on getting this to be a little bit more fixed. So we have these things, and I think myself that this is not the right color for this, so I will switch it up a little bit and turn it a little bit more lighter. So that's what I want to aim for, because I feel that that is a little bit too bluish. So I'm going to be aiming for this color instead. And why I'm going to go for a whitish more approach, it's mainly because I do want to have that to happen. So we're going to be aiming for that. Then we're going to aim for a little bit more wider on the top side approach. And that still works. Good. That means I can actually get this right. Yeah, I can get this right. So let me just get that to the right kind of course. So yeah, today I actually wanted to try to see if I can get well, today I wanted to try to see, when I was busy doing experimentations on it, I was trying to see if I can get Monster Hunter World to, Wilds to work on it again. It's a little bit more difficult than it was beforehand, but so far I can actually get it up and running, but then after getting to the loading screen, it actually crashes out. It's like, ah! And then boom, it instantly dies off, which is an issue. I don't want that to happen again, so that's why I was literally experimenting today already with that, and see if I could get it to load, but so far no luck. Although I got some other games working, so that's good, but that game was not able to run properly. Right now I'm trying to see if I switch this to experimental mode, if that actually works, because it's actually more updated, and if that will run it properly, and let's hope it does. So yeah, after this I will probably need to wait for it again for what, around a half an hour probably, because I removed also the shader caches, mainly because, well, the shader caches were not up to date, and I think the shader caches caused the crash, so that's why I also went for that one to be updated. So yeah, doing that in the background didn't help. I almost already spent today already on like 2.5 hours on it to try to get it fixed. So much for just getting a game to work, honestly. It's almost like a little bit too much of a time waste, but then again, it's good to see like where the errors are, and where the errors lie. Hopefully that will not impact too much, but I doubt it. So yeah, tonight I will be doing that again, and hopefully get it to run and see if I can actually get it to stream properly. Doubt it, because it's a very unstable game. It's one of the worst games I ever got with the compatibility, at least. So yeah. So what I'm aiming to do today, it's gonna be fixing the clouds, as you can see, getting them in a little bit more of a nicer look at it. So I actually fixed up the colors of it, so it's a lot more aggressively white, compared to a very transparent blue, which was beforehand. I can actually get this one to work like that. There you go. And with that, I actually have now myself a lot more better leeway here. So now I can actually get this one to work like that. Easy. And now we have like big giant clouds that we can use. Alright, cool. Now if we add in the effect that I wanted to create, which is this one, no, this one, right? Yeah. So now if I look at this, this actually creates a far better effect. So the bluish clouds were a little bit too weak, honestly, for the background. They were too weak for me, in my humble opinion, of course. But yeah, today I'm gonna be trying to get that nice little effect in the background up and running. So I'm gonna be trying to get this bit, those little nice little things I want to get up and running. So with that said, we're gonna make that happen. So let's, no further ado, let's get this started. The first thing I want to do here to create this kind of work is drawing a line like so, a little bit more like so, probably, right? So I'm gonna draw a line here, and I'm gonna draw a line right here. This is gonna be the line that I'm gonna be drawing. This line is technically a figurative line, but it's a line that I can use for later down the line if I want to create the better option here. So now we're gonna be drawing those nice little buildings. They don't have to be precisely, you know, lined up, but they need to be there to create what I want to create. So let me just grab that and see where this is ending. So let me just do this a bit and then move onwards with it. Alright. Now, with that said, I want to create those lines. I want to create, you know, nice little buildings that I want to create from the sky towers that I had beforehand. But of course, those towers need to be, you know, created. So I'm gonna create them like this. Then I'm gonna create another building like that. Then another building like that. So I'm gonna create buildings, but those buildings don't have to be like big or, you know, long. They need to be there just to create the background drop. They need to be created as such a way that they are technically the background. And of course, these buildings need to be not all the same. That is the main idea of it all. That's the main idea of it all. So I want to create skyscrapers that are a little bit out of whack, a little bit out of shape as well, but they will create things that I like to create. So I'm going to create them like that, then create one here, then create here one, and then there one. Now we have created them here. We have created them on that line. We're going to create them now on this line as well. So let's do that first. Then create another one. And with this set, I can then actually create the line work that I want to create. So then I create the grass in the background so that I actually can create the lesser effects afterwards. Alright, now we have done that. We now actually have created those buildings. Now we're going to be making sure that those buildings are into one group, and we're going to be adding in the effect on the thing. So first we're going to make sure that that is there. There you go. Making sure that that is one line. Alright, now we're going to be creating that line work. So I want to first create the buildings itself. Do I want that? No, probably not, right? I don't want that to happen. Alright, so let's just get that one there. And there we go. Now the question is like, do I want to keep it like that and then add more stuff to it? Yes, that looks good. Alright, so that does look good. That is great. That means I can actually get the rest up and running as well. There we go. And now we're going to go to the other side. So what I want to create here is actually a background drop for the, nice looking buildings, and hopefully get the right idea of it all. Of course, adding not too much detail, which means that I add them as a background. Well, it gives you the indication that it's a background and not a normal thing. So yeah. And then once I'm done with the whole damn thing off here, then we're going to be adding in the colors and then hopefully get the right thing on. Well, hopefully get the right coloring up and running as well. But the main problem is that I need to add grass to it as well, which is going to be the hardest part here. Alright, now we have done that. We can now add, even if we want, we could add in a nice little texture here. Is that worth it? Yeah, it could be worth it. Could be worth it. Alright, let's try that, but making sure that I do this correctly. Go, and now we're going to go here and grab the rest of it all. now we have ourselves a nice little building. And we could even add like, little things like that. Yeah, let's do that. And then hopefully get the right things here and there. And then of course add the grass indent, and then it actually creates the background drop. Okay. All right. Now we have done that, we now need to get ourselves a nice little color for it. What kind of color do we want to add in the background for, buildings? Probably like something like this, right? Dark color. Because it's in the background. So white does need to have nice colors. And then add a lighter color later down the line. Yeah, that would actually work, I think. This needs to be not in front of that, it needs to be below this one. For sure. Yeah, for sure. And then of course add in the blue for the text, and then add the rest in there as well. This way we actually have what I want. Where's that? Where did I draw that line? There it is. Alright, now we're going to be aiming to get that thing done properly. Alright. Seems I forgot one thing here. Oh boy. Let's fix that up then. There you go. Then grab that color back in there and then move onwards again with it. So with this thing now here, we're going to be adding in the background, and then with the background added in, it should be fine. Because we're going to be adding in the background, and then after this we're going to add in grass, and then that should give us the panorama view that I actually want. But first, I need to make sure that I have this all colored up in one color, and then we're going to be adding in the colors afterwards. So now that we have dark color in the background, That means that now we have actually a background that we can work with. Yes, correct. Alright, now that is done, I can now move here. There we are. Alright. Now we need to just grab that and then add in some nice little effect to it as well. Alright. And this one there. This one there. Alright. Then we're gonna make a darker color here on this side. Alright. Yes. Good. Now we need to make sure that this is a little bit lighter up. So we're going to be adding in a lighter effect on like this maybe. No. Better. Alright, then we need to grab this color right here, and we need now tone it down a little bit to this, maybe. Yeah. There we go. Then we're going to add in a lighter color, and then the lighter color will be added into the effect of the light part. There you go. Easy. Now let's see if this works properly. Most likely. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I'm almost selected that. Yes, there you go. Now that's off the selection. Good. And time to grab that one again. Alright, and then we're going to be using darker color with this bit. There we go. Much better. Alright, now we need to get this one back up and running, which means, yes, that one. Alright, now we have this, now we need to get this bit done. So, with that said, I'm going to be saving it here and then move on to the next bit, which is going to be the hardest part. I need to create the grass in such a way that it works. So I'm going to be just creating the grass. Going to be adding the grass here because that's how it works. So first things first, we're going to make sure that this is, transparent, of course. And I'm going to be adding the grass, but I'm not going to be finishing the grass because I also want to add in first the path a bit more. There we go, now we have done that part. Now we need to add some more grass here. So this is going to be the background grass. I need this technically to be above this one. Alright, first things first, I need to add that there, and I need to do very careful do things. So first things first, we need to add that there. And add that there. Nice. Alright, now we actually have added in the grass. So now we actually added the grass in. So now we have the background, we have the grass, we have the things. Alright. That means that I now have done what I wanted to do for today, at least. Let's design the pathway at least, and hopefully get towards that point. Which means we're going to add in the pathway. And save it, just in case. Let's add in first this pathway, because that's indeed the one that is important. Which needs to be underneath this one, right? No, it needs to be above this. Alright, let's see. Let's first add that part there. Till I'm at, yeah, until there, I need to have it. Alright. And then I need to get this bit right here. Oh god, this one right here. Alright, and then over here to add the last bits there and there. There we go. Then I need to get this one up and running. Alright, and then I add here, I add pretty decent layout. At least on one side, and then I need to make sure that I have that fully fixed up as well. On the other side as well. There we go. Then I need to fix this bit. Alright, now we have actually something to work with. It's not the best, but you know, it's somewhere we're gonna be aiming for. So now that we have the, well, bits and pieces done, now we can actually add in the next bit, which is then of course adding the better version of it, because holy shit, that is a terrible one. I will be able to do this in 5, right? There we go. And I can add here, I can add another one down. So we have like a nice little brick path going upwards. And then of course, once we add in the grass, we can actually add more stuff to it later down the line. This is why I wanted to have that brick path first done. So this one goes from here to here. Let's save and see if I have now done what I wanted to do here. Okay, this one, go away. Yes, that looks good. That looks very clean. It has some bits of issues, but it is clean enough, I think. Yeah, it's clean enough. Alright, so now I have done that part. I have now created the pathway that I want to create. And then, yeah. Alright, so I have created the pathway. Then, tomorrow I will be adding in the bricks and all that stuff, adding the layer. And then we are, creating the bricks that I want to make. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed from that. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, I want to wish you a lovely day, and bye!